Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome to my presentation. Before starting the presentation, I would like to introduce myself. I am Anwar Hussain, assistant teacher in English, Jointapur Government High School, Jointapur, Sylhet. Dear students, my today's class is for the students of class 9 and it is English first paper. So let's start my today's class. So introduction topic is Unit 10 English for today for class 9. What do you see in the picture? There are two pictures for you. What do you see? Or do you see anywhere this picture? I think some of you can. And some of you may know who is she. She is Pritilota. And who was Pritilota? Pritilota was the first martyred woman revolutionist. And she was the first woman who took martyrdom. And she was revolutionist. Basically, she was anti-British activist. So, our today's class is based on Pritilota, that is, they had dreams 1, that is lesson 3. So there we have some outcomes. First of all, at the end of the lesson, you will be able to narrate a story. You will be able to narrate an incident, narrate a story, and you will grow patriotic feelings. I mean, after you go to this lesson, you will feel for the country. Learn new word meanings and ask and answer the questions. So these are our today's outcomes from the topic. So there is picture also. What do you see? What do you know about them? Why are they well known? So can you tell me? We know Pritilota, and that is European club, Pahartoli European club, that is in Chattogram, and he is Surjo Sen. Surjo Sen was anti-British activist and he led the movement. We have another picture, that is Pahartoli European Club. There is current image and which was torched by the group of people, and that is, you see, now this picture is clear, that is European Club, and this is very well known, that was for its notoriety. And in the next picture, you see someone dressed as a man going to shoot. So European Club at Pahartoli and Chittagong, now we call them Chattogram. So this is very much related with her life. So dear students, you see there is the picture of Pritilota. Now we would like to know something more about her. So born in 1911, Chattogram. Next we have graduated in philosophy, and she was anti-British activist, head teacher of Nandan Kanon, next disciple of Surjo Sen, attacked in European Club in 1932, died by taking potassium cyanide. Actually, these are the basic information about Pritilota. Now let's watch a documentary based on Pritilota.
Pritilota Wadatar, 1911 to 1932, was the main Bengali progressive patriot and first Bengali lady who battled against the division of Bengal. Her dauntlessness and penance for the country's freedom was a wellspring of extraordinary motivation for the later developments in Bangladesh. On her 103rd conception commemoration, we recollect the penance of this valiant opportunity warrior. Pritlada was destined to a white-collar class family on May 5, 1911 in Lugat town in Pattaya Upazila of Chittagong. Pritlada finished her educating from Dr. Kastigya Government Girls' School of Chittagong. She got admitted to Eden School of Dhaka for higher auxiliary training. Pritlada finished her graduation from Bethune College in philosophy with unique excellence in the wake of finishing her training in Calcutta. Pritlada came back to Chittagong and began her vocation as a teacher. Pritlada chose to join the Indian Opportunity Development on June 13, 1932. Pritlada met Surya Sen and Nirmal Sen in their camp alongside the progressive gathering of Surya Sen. Pritlada participated in numerous assaults in the Jalalabad fight. She assumed the liability of supplying explosives to the progressives in 1932. Surya Sen wanted to assault the Pahartli European Club, which had a billboard that perused "Pooches and Indians not permitted." Pritlada was advised to lead the assault dressing herself as a Punjabi male. Pritlada with her group assaulted the club on September 23 at 10:45 p.m. Harmed and caught by the British police, Pritlada gulped cyanide and submitted suicide to stay away from capture. Bangladeshi author Selina Hussain calls Pritlada a perfect for each lady. A trust named Birkanya Pritlada Trust has been established in her memory. 8 quarters of Jahangirnagar University called Pritlada Corridor has been named after Pritlada Wadadar.
Dear students, they had dreams. Lesson 3. Pritilata Wadadar was born in Chittagong on May 5, 1911. We all know this. She was a meritorious student at Dr. Khastogir Government Girls School in Chittagong and Eden Class, Dhaka. So she was very meritorious student. She graduated in philosophy with a distinction from Bethune College in Kolkata. So she completed her graduation at philosophy, and she was with distinction from Bethune College, that is in Kolkata. In her college days, Pritilata was an activist in the anti-British movement. From her college days when she was a student of college, and she was anti-British, and she took part various types of movement against the British colonial rule. All through her life, she dreamed true things. Yes, she had true dreams in her life. First of all, a society without gender discriminations. I mean, there will be no discrimination between male and female. And second one, her motherland without British colonial rule. I mean, she longed for the freedom that from the British colonial rule. She had these true dreams. So she decided to fight against the British rule. And that is why at this earlier stage, she tried to fight against British rule. Soon after, Pritilata became the head teacher of Nandan Khanon Aparna Choram School in Chattogram, and she was the head teacher of Nandan Khanon in Chittagong. Gradually, she involved herself in Surya Sen's armed resistance movement, and step by step, she joined with Surya Sen and tried to receive training. Surya Sen was a famous anti-British movement organizer and revolutionary activist in Chittagong area at that time. And Surya Sen was very much famous for that type of movement which was against British colony, and she was a good organizer also. In 1932, Surya Sen planned an attack on the Pahartoli European Club. The club was well known for its notorious sign at its entrance, that is, dogs and Indians not allowed. So in 1932, they made a plan. They tried to attack on the European Club, and the European Club was very much notorious for its notorious activities. First of all, you see there is a sign at the doorstep or at the entrance: dogs and Indians. Dogs and Indians are not allowed to enter that club. So that was very much that was some humiliation as a human being, as an Indian, and they could not tolerate this. That is why they planned to attack on that club. Surya Sen assigned Pritilata to lead a team of 10 to 12 men to attack at the club. The raid was successful, but Prithilatha, dressed as a man, failed to get out of the cloud. All right. Actually, Prithilatha lead that team, and there were 10 to 12 members at the team, and the operation was successful. Unfortunately, she couldn't come out, and I mean, she was about to capture, and at that time she committed suicide by taking potassium cyanide to avoid arrest. So whenever she understood that she was about to arrest by the English, at that time she took potassium cyanide, and that is, she committed suicide. She died. She proved that women can work like men. She also proved that women too needed to be prepared to sacrifice their lives for the freedom from the British colonial rule. Actually, she committed suicide, and by doing this, she tried to prove one thing, that women can work like men, and at the same time, she would like to mention one thing, that is, the women need to be prepared if it needed to sacrifice their lives for the country, for the greater interest. Her dream finally came true. The British rule came to an end in 1947, though she could not see it during her lifetime. And we can say that her dreams came true. Unfortunately, she was not alive. She died. And at the end of, that is in 1947, we know, India got a division, and it born two states. That is, one is Pakistan, another one is India. But she could not see this independence when she was alive. But she did by taking martyrdom. So these were the basic things. Now we have another part, that is vocabulary presentation. First of all, the appreciate. Appreciate means what? Appraise. Appreciate means praise or admire. We said that. Discrimination. Discrimination means what? We understand that is differences, discriminations. Biography. Biography, that is life history, we call biography. Distinction, that is division, that is with honor, division. Resistance. Resistance means fight. Resistance, fight. Now, we have another ask and answering questions. First of all, you have to read the text very carefully and then answer the questions. What is the first one? The first one is, who was Surya Sen? So, can you tell me who was Surya Sen? I think you can. So, we can say that Surya Sen was an anti-British organizer or anti-British revolutionist who organized various types of operation against British colonial rule, and they attacked various places, particularly European club. And you can mention another thing, that is Prithilatha was the disciple of Surya Sen. Number 2, what was Prithilatha's dream all through her life? Can you remember that? She had dreams. She had basically two dreams. And so we can say like that Prithilatha had two dreams all through her life. First of all, first one is, there should not be any discrimination between male and female. And number 2, that is, she would like to free her country. She would like to free her country from British colony. What did she prove by sacrificing her? You see, what did she? She proved that women could work with men like men, and at the same time, the women too be prepared if needed to sacrifice their lives. She proved that these two things. Why was the Pahartuli European Club well known to all? So Pahartuli European Club, that was very well known because of what? Because of their notorious activities. You see, that was a torture cell. So that is why that is very well known to the people. What is your learning from Pahartuli? That's another question to you. That what do you learn from Prithilatha? Do you learn anything? I think yes. First of all, we can say that we learn, or I learn a lot of things from Prithilatha. What is this? First of all, that I have to be prepared to sacrifice my life for the greater interest, for the sacrifice of my country. If needed, you have to do that. And we can say another things also that just like a Prithilota, she was only 21 years old and she died for the country. And she did lot of things for the country. So that is a great learning from Prithilota. So I learned all of these things from Prithilota, we can say it. So that was all for you. I hope all of you are stay safe and stay home. So thank you so much.